Civilization 1. The culture. The culture is the most thorough answer ever written to the question of what a truly advanced civilization might actually look like. The culture is a post-scarcity interstellar society spanning the Milky Way, composed of multiple humanoid species and governed, functionally, by artificial intelligences called minds. Minds are not tools. They are the actual decision-makers, operating at cognitive speeds so far beyond biological thought that most strategic and logistical problems are solved before a human in the same room has finished registering that a problem exists. What makes the culture genuinely terrifying as a civilization rather than just impressively large is its covert operations division, called special circumstances. The culture officially doesn't interfere with other civilizations. Special circumstances does exactly that, covertly, precisely, and with consequences that play out across centuries. They don't conquer, they nudge. They place the right person in the right situation and let history do the rest. The outcomes are engineered at a civilizational level with the patience of a species that doesn't fear time. Militarily, culture ships are among the most capable entities in fiction. A single general systems vehicle, a ship the size of a small moon, carries billions of inhabitants and enough firepower to sterilize a planet as an afterthought. The culture doesn't often fight. When it does, it doesn't lose. Civilization 2, the Galactic Empire, from Warhammer 40,000. The Imperium spans over 1 million inhabited worlds across the Milky Way. It fields armies in the billions, maintains a navy of warships that dwarf small moons, and is held together by a combination of brutal religious doctrine, genetic super-soldiers called Space Marines, and the psychic beacon of the Emperor, a near-omnipotent being who has sat motionless on a golden throne for 10,000 years, technically alive, slowly dying, holding the fabric of faster-than-light travel together through sheer force of will. The scale of loss the Imperium sustains and survives daily would collapse any other fictional civilization in a week. Entire planets are destroyed as routine military decisions. The loss of 1 billion lives registers as a logistical note. It persists not because it is thriving, but because it is so vast that no force has yet been able to destroy it faster than it regenerates. It is a civilization defined entirely by survival at any cost, and the cost is everything. Civilization 3. The Forerunners. From Halo. Before humanity reached the stars in the Halo universe, the Forerunners had already been there for millions of years and left. The Forerunners were a civilization of roughly 10 billion individuals who achieved a Tier 1 technological rating, the highest classification in their own framework, capable of engineering at a stellar and galactic scale. They built the Halo rings, 7 massive structures each with a diameter of 10,000 kilometers, designed to eliminate all sentient life in the galaxy simultaneously as a last resort against a parasitic threat called the Flood. They built shield worlds, artificial planets with entire ecosystems inside them. They indexed and preserved hundreds of thousands of species against the possibility of extinction. They developed slipspace travel, hard light construction, and weapons capable of reshaping planetary geology on demand. What makes the Forerunners compelling beyond their power is their failure. They built everything, achieved everything, and still lost. The Flood was a problem that technology alone couldn't solve, and their solution to it killed them along with everything else. They left the galaxy empty and full of ruins that civilizations millions of years younger are still trying to understand. Civilization 4, the Time Lords, from Doctor Who. The Time Lords of Gallifrey are among the oldest civilizations in fiction, and their defining advantage isn't weaponry or scale. It's time itself. Time Lords developed the ability to travel through and perceive time as a navigable dimension. At their height, they didn't just visit different points in history. They managed them, maintaining what they called the web of time, a structured ordering of events that prevented paradoxes from unraveling causality itself. They were, functionally, the administrators of reality's timeline. Their technology reflects this. A TARDIS is not simply a time machine. It is a dimensionally transcendent vessel grown from a living organism, powered by a captured star, and capable of materializing anywhere in space and time. The Time Lords had millions of them. At the height of their power during the last Great Time War against the Dalek Empire, both sides were rewriting history as a weapon, erasing battles before they happened, causing civilizations to have never existed, and fighting across every point in time simultaneously. The conflict became so dangerous to the structure of reality that the Doctor ended it by locking both civilizations outside of time entirely. That was the only available option. That is the scale of what was happening. Civilization 5, the Borg, from Star Trek. The Borg are not a civilization in any traditional sense. They are a collective, a single distributed consciousness running across trillions of drones and thousands of ships, continuously expanding by assimilating whatever they encounter. What makes the Borg function as a civilizational concept rather than just a monster is their adaptive capacity. They don't just conquer, they absorb. Every species they assimilate contributes biological and technological distinctiveness to the whole. The Borg, after assimilating a new species, are measurably more capable than the Borg before. They accumulate advantages the way a civilization accumulates knowledge, permanently, collectively, and without the bottleneck of individual memory or death. Their ships, the iconic cubes, have no obvious bridge, no single point of failure, and no crew in any meaningful sense. Damage to a section is simply rerouted around. Weapons that work once don't work twice, because the collective adapts in real time and redistributes the relevant countermeasure across every ship simultaneously. The Federation defeated them through exploiting the collective nature itself, finding the single frequency that reached every drone at once. It worked exactly once. The Borg adapted. They always adapt. Civilization 6, the Shadows, from Babylon 5. The Shadows are one of the oldest civilizations in the Babylon 5 universe, and their power is philosophical as much as physical. They are one of two ancient races that remained in the galaxy after most others ascended to a higher plane of existence. Their counterparts, the Vorlons, believed order and obedience produced strength. The Shadows believed conflict did. Their entire civilizational project for millions of years was to seed wars between younger species, not out of malice, but out of a genuine conviction that chaos, competition, and struggle were the only forces that produced real evolution. Their ships are living organisms, partly biological, each one requiring a living sentient mind melded into its structure as a central processor. The psychological cost of that to the person involved is total and permanent. Their vessels can appear and disappear from normal space without warning, move faster than any conventional tracking system, and take damage that would vaporize conventional ships without slowing. What makes them genuinely unsettling is that their argument isn't entirely wrong. The younger species that survived their interference did emerge stronger. The method was monstrous. The result was real. Babylon 5 never fully resolves that tension, which is what makes the Shadows one of the most intellectually serious villain civilizations ever written.